covers an area of over 500 square miles and extends over 9 counties in the southern half of Wales. It has terrific scenery and notoriously challenging landscapes. For many, it's a playground. For me, it's a place to escape, a place to be alone with nature. Over the seasons, I'm exploring the magic of the beacons. I'm very ambivalent about autumn. It's a funny time of year because on the one hand, a lot of our wildlife has either died or has disappeared. The meadows, the flowers are virtually gone. The large insects, the dragonflies, damselflies, bees and wasps, they've disappeared virtually overnight. A lot of our birds, our familiar birds, the swallows and the cuckoos, have left our shores for warmer climes. But on the other hand, the park is now at its very beautiful best. Officially, the autumn begins on the 1st of September, but in the Brecon Beacons, you have to wait until late October for the full palette of colour. It's during this part of autumn that wildlife becomes very active. It's a time for fattening up and getting fit for winter. Birds in particular look for berries in some wonderful locations. There's one such place in the Black Mountains a few miles south of Hay-on-Wye.
This is the Church of St Mary the Virgin in Capel-y-Ffin. It's one of the smallest churches in the whole of Wales, and it's a great location here, a real beautiful place and a great backdrop because it's surrounded by the Black Mountains. And I've come to look at the birds more than anything else because it's heavy with berries, red berries everywhere here. A lot of blackbirds here now. And these won't necessarily be our blackbirds, local birds. These may well be birds that have come across from the continent and they're gorging themselves, and there's plentiful supply of food here.
By late October, the temperatures in continental Europe and Scandinavia are already colder than in Wales and England. And by midwinter, the ground and air temperatures will be so cold on the continent that food will be very difficult to find. Millions of birds fly west to Britain every autumn, and many of them end up in the Brecon Beacons.
Just come down now from Hay Bluff here, right in the eastern edge of the Black Mountains, and I've walked into a huge flock of fieldfare. Looking all around me, there must be well over 1,000 birds here, and they must be rubbing their wings together because there's so much food here. And what they'll do is they'll strip the berries here over a large area, and then they'll keep moving west, and eventually they'll end up in West Wales, even over in Ireland.
Fieldfares belong to the thrush family, and they're one of its most colourful members. They don't nest in Britain, and you'll only see them during autumn and winter, and usually in large flocks like this.
And they're gobbling up these berries now. Yeah, I'm sure these have just come in. Just maybe the last few hours, maybe the last day, maybe overnight last night. They've just come in, and they're refueling before they move on again. I love the call too. You hear more of them coming over there. Chuck, chuck, chuck kind of calls. It's a lovely call. It's a sign that autumn is really here and winter's on the way.
In some ways, I find the autumn in the Beacons just as exciting as the spring.
Maybe an autumnal fieldfare may not have the same uplifting effect as a spring swallow, but they're long-lost friends, and it's fantastic to see them returning after an absence of 6 months. Like the spring, the autumnal landscape is also a transforming one, and there's little doubt which season wins in terms of beauty. Cold, misty dawns lift to reveal amazing colours. There are stunning sights this time of year throughout the national park. It's a landscape that's been photographed by thousands, if not millions, and has inspired painters for centuries. Louise Collis is a landscape artist and does most of her work in the Brecon Beacons. She's come to work in the Punch Bowl, one of the park's many hidden quiet spots.
Hello.
Hello, Yellow.
You don't mind if I join you?
No, absolutely.
Oh, wow. Autumn colours.
They're absolutely fantastic this time of year. Wonderful for an artist who paints outside.
Yeah, this must be the best time of year for you, is it?
Absolutely love this time of year. You'll never catch me in the studio this time of year. I'm always outside trying to capture the changing colours.
And this is the beach over there, is it, this one?
That's right, yes, yeah, and you can see reflected in the water as well, which is nice, yeah, along with the blue sky.
Will you come up to the Punch Bowl here quite often?
Yeah, this time of year especially, yeah, it's fantastic in the autumn. But it's a favourite location for me, yes.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I can see why. And also the other benefit on a day like this, there's no one else here.
That's right, so quiet here. There'll be maybe 1 or 2 people come down when I'm painting, but I can often be on my own for a whole day.
The Punch Bowl is tucked away on the side of Blorange Mountain. In the past, the Blorange was surrounded by mines and ironworks, and it's because of this industrial heritage that the whole area has been included in the national park.
This is one of those hidden little places that the Brecon Beacons is so good at tucking away. This is the Clydach Gorge with the Clydach River flowing down below me here. Very deep, very dangerous gorge. And it's amazing to think that this has survived unscathed down here when you consider all the industry around us. The iron works, the tin works, the railway lines, tram lines.
From the 17th century until the end of the 20th, the Clydach Gorge was used for iron ore extraction, stone quarrying and the production of charcoal, lime and iron. The whole area was intensely worked, and the remains of spoil tips, tramways and old railway lines are still visible. It was a perfect site for early industrial exploitation. It had mineral resources, a powerful water supply and woodlands for charcoal.
This is a beach woodland. It's obviously been a very good year for beech mast. Look at all this on the floor. This is all beech mast here, look at that. Lots of seeds there for the local birds. And actually, beech woodlands, they're not common in the national park. And this particular example here is one of the best examples of native beech in the whole of Western Britain. And it's amazing, really, that this survived, because in the early years of the iron industry, they used to cut these woodlands down for charcoal. That's why a lot of the other woodlands around here didn't survive. But this particular section is still here because it's so rocky and so steep. It would have been incredibly difficult to harvest the woodland here. And eventually, of course, they discovered that there was coal locally, so that was then used in the iron industry, and these woodlands were spared.
As temperatures become cooler during the autumn and moisture levels increase, wild mushrooms begin to grow. Some are notoriously lethal, but I'm in good hands. I'm with mycologist Sheila Spence in a woodland near Crickhowell.
Just back down there, I found these. That was a spongy bum.
Spongy bum?
Yeah.
That's
it's a naughty name.
It is a naughty name, yeah.
It's commonly known as a spongy bottom.
Right. And that one? That's quite
Now
cool.
this is lovely. It's a bit of a dried up version, really. It's not a very good one. But it's Amethyst Deceiver.
Oh, what a name.
And I am told that they are very, very good cooked in vodka and poured over ice cream.
That's right, okay. I'll take that home with me. I'll take that one home with me. Vodka ice cream.
Yeah.
That's my kind of fungus.
Yes.
Let's see what else we could find.
Oh, that's lovely.
What's that one?
So, well, it's a similar colour, isn't it, to that one, the
it is,
Amethyst Deceiver. But this one is the Wood Bluet.
Wood Bluet.
Yes, there's another good edible. And if you look at the stem, can you see the purpley lines down the stem?
Yeah.
So they'll be around right through the winter frosts.
Oh, will
Right through to about Christmas.
And you say I can eat that one?
Absolutely.
I'll come back and get that one afterwards.
Yes, they're very good.
Wood Bluet.
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Just like remember these names. I recognise this one. Can I name this one?
Yeah.
Turkey tail?
Absolutely.
Turkey tail. So I love that name. And just look at them, it just looks like the tail
It
of a
does.
turkey.
You turn it upside down and it's white underneath, really, really white and beautiful.
And growing on wood.
Yes, always.
And of course, the bits we see is only a small part of it, isn't it?
Yes, that's the fruiting body, whereas the majority of the fungus is running through the wood, the mycelium, which is the main body.
And that then will break the wood down basically into soil eventually.
Oh yes.
So without fungi, you and I'd be up our necks in dead wood and leaves went out.
Yes,
see, they're
absolutely,
very useful things, and you can eat them. And I like.
Well, you
my
wouldn't
food.
want to eat that.
Okay, that one's not edible. Okay.
It's very, very chewy, very woody.
Right.
But you can use it for all sorts of things. They use it for medicinal purposes, growing it for cancer cures and things like that.
More here. Look.
Yes, now that's one to avoid.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, right.
So people get this muddled up with something else that you can eat,
Right.
though I don't think it's particularly good.
Okay.
This is a thing called sulphur tuft.
Sulphur tuft.
Yes.
Right.
And I'm going to pick one and show you what it looks like underneath.
Right,
because that's the way you recognise it.
Okay. But you say leave well alone this one.
Yes, don't
They
try and eat it.
They say you can eat every fungus once,
Yeah.
but some of them will kill you.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So look how green it is.
Oh, it is. Yeah. So if it's green underneath, that's sulphur tuft.
Yes. And what it is, it's got very, very black pores and a yellow flesh. And the black on the yellow makes it look green.
You say that it's not good for us to eat, it's bad for us, but something's eaten it.
Oh yes, the slugs will eat it, yes.
So will it kill the slugs?
No, because they have completely different digestive system.
Well, they can eat anything, can they?
More or
Especially in the garden.
less, yes.
The Brecon beacons are some of the biggest colonies of bats in Britain, and during the autumn they too are preparing for winter. They'll soon leave their summer roosts in buildings and head for the more constant temperatures of caves to hibernate. I'm at an old watermill in the Usk Valley with David German of the Vincent Wildlife Trust, and we're filming bats with infrared light and using a sound detector to hear their calls. Without it, their calls cannot be heard. It's a good noise, isn't it?
It's amazing. Something else described it, something a bit like the clangers.
yeah, it is, yeah. So, how many bats have you got in there?
The peak count in the summer was 420, that was the second week in June.
420?
Yeah.
And all lesser horseshoe bats?
Yeah.
In June, so this is what, is this a nursery roost?
Yes, and it's a maternity site, yeah.
And this is where they'll come and just give birth?
Yeah, they could turn up early spring depending on the weather. They'll have a single pup or baby second or third week in July depending on the temperature.
It's called a pup, is it?
Yeah, it's a pup.
I didn't know a young bat was called a pup.
Yeah, pup.
And they'll hang around here until when?
Until the first big frosts. Some of the colonies already left. We had a couple of frosts about a week ago. But the first big frost will be off to one of the hibernation sites further down the valley.
And where's that? That'll be in one of the caves or something, won't it there?
Oh yeah, up on Tagaford Mountain.
Oh, there's a lot of caves, yeah. How good is the Brecon beacons for them then?
It's one of the strong ones, I think, on the last count, over 10% of the UK population is in the Upper Usk.
Oh, just in this area, though?
Yeah,
the Upper Usk?
between Brecon and Crickhowell.
Oh, that's amazing. So you say 10% of the UK population, roughly how many bats would that be?
An estimated population is about 25,000.
Wow.
So here, with all the roosts, we're looking at 3,000 animals.
You can see them hanging there now,
Isn't it?
like little packets, and it's cellophane wrapped little packets. Because this is the sort of Dracula bat, the one everyone thinks bats hang upside down, and of course not all of them do, but this
Well, all
one does.
bats can hang upside down, but it's just the horseshoes, both greater and lesser, actually do the hanging up.
Autumn must be an important time for them, because they've got to feed up for the winter.
Well, this is it, because they need to actually build up their fat reserves to get them through the winter, and also autumn's the time where they actually mate. And so most of the males actually won't be in the roost with the females, they'll actually come by from another smaller roost, and basically, as I understand it, the females will mate with the males that have got the highest or the best quality call, echolocation-wise.
Because that's then a reflection of body condition,
Yeah.
because they want to mate with the
exactly.
healthiest males.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then basically the female actually delays fertilisation until the following spring.
that's clever.
And then the pup is born then, or the baby back is born in, depending on the weather, sort of early mid-July.
Most of the bats will hibernate deep inside caves in these cliffs. This is Craiger Killai, one of the largest limestone cliffs in South Wales. It's part of the Llangattock escarpment, a huge slab of rock that overlooks Crich Howell. The cliffs are popular climbing sites, but these are not regular climbers. Alright, what's going on here, I think, is outward bound, but I see you're all military, eh?
Yeah, it is military, yeah. What we've got here is army recruits, and they're 9 weeks into their basic military training, so 9 weeks ago these were civilians.
Major Mark White oversees soldier development in the Brecon Beacons, and the National Park is one of the Army's key training sites.
What we've done is we bring them down to the Brecon Beacons to do some adventurous training with the aim of putting them out of their comfort zone a little bit. The chap at the top there, he's definitely not in his comfort zone, but he's not panicking, and he'd been given a little task to do as well, memorise a good reference or carry out a task halfway down, so we get them to operate through that, because one day they'll deploy out to the field army, perhaps in operations, and we need them to work through the difficult circumstances to be a soldier and do whatever their role is on operations. So at this very early stage, they start to develop in that way.
It's a fantastic way to do it, and it's good for them, because for some of them, probably the first time they've done this, isn't
For
it?
the majority of them, it is the first time.
He's well, and he's reached it, so he gets to the top, just taps it, and then he'll abseil down, and he'll take all the weight.
Yeah,
and
he'll take responsibility from now and lower him off slowly down. Yeah, so there's a trust thing, because he's now taking his hands off the cliff,
Yeah.
and his descent is totally controlled by his mate on the other end of the rope.
I bet his heart is beating now.
Yes, I bet it is. Yeah, that's the stretch thing. That's putting him into that stretch. We've taken out their comfort zone, and that's where the stretch comes in, because of the exposure to the rock, to the height, and knowing that a lad on the other end is providing his safety, is responsible for his life.
Well, he is, yeah, that's right. And this is ideal for this escarpment. You could pick any part of this, couldn't you, really?
This is amazing, and we've got lots of venues that we use around the Brecon Beacons, not just for climbing, but caving and paddling and hill walking as well.
The Brecon Beacons National Park provides most of the drinking water for the population of South Wales, and many of the reservoirs are in the central beacons. This is Talabont Reservoir. It's the longest reservoir in the park. It's about 2 miles long, and the water from here goes all the way down to the city of Newport, right on the south coast. And here's a tip for you: if you're going to come here to watch birds, and in the autumn particularly, it is a good spot to come to the end that's furthest away from the dam, because here the water is shallow, there's a lot of vegetation, a lot of invertebrates, and that then attracts a lot of birds. And we've seen some of the early winter visitors coming in. We've got some teal here, small flock of widgeon here as well. And the widgeon are interesting because in the summer they molt. They go into what they call eclipse, and they look quite scruffy. But now they're starting to gain this beautiful breeding plumage back, and the males in particular look beautiful. The reservoirs and lakes of the beacons will gradually fill with migrant birds throughout the autumn, and if it's a hard winter and the ground freezes, large bodies of water like Talabont Reservoir become essential for their survival.
hardier animals will be able to survive even on the highest peaks. Welsh cobs and ponies have been running free in the uplands of the Brecon Beacons since Roman times. These semi-wild ponies were probably always used by local farmers, but during the 18th century, many worked in the coal mines of South Wales. These ponies are on the Penderyn uplands near Pen y Fan, and during the autumn, sisters Lydia and Bethan from Wernlas farm helped to round up the ponies to separate the foals from the mares.
Hello.
Hello?
Fancy meeting you two out on the hill.
I know.
So what are you out here for then?
We're just gonna gather the ponies in now.
So what's your job? Because I saw the boys, they were out on quads, were they? Two of them?
Yeah, they own about 10 of the ponies, so they come and help every year. Basically, they should push them up here now. And we're like flankers, we'll go on each side and try our best to keep up with them.
How many are there in all then? Or how many are you expecting?
Roughly about 40. And most of them should have foals as well.
So you bring them down, you'll take the foals off them,
Yeah.
and then they'll come back out
And then
on the
they'll
hill.
come straight back to the mountain then.
Wow.
They don't like being on the farm long. They're not used
You'll
to
see
it.
them at the fences. They want to go out. They're not used to the short grass. They know where they want to be, basically.
Yeah, out on the hill.
Yeah.
Real mountain ponies.
That's
Definitely.
their natural habitat.
And have they always been here? Because I mean, I've been coming along this road for must be 35 odd years, and they're always ponies.
Generations. Our grandfather out at Key, he kept them. His father, probably spanning over about 70 years, and the mares will pass on their knowledge, where to go with different seasons. This weather now, they'll come up here and they'll have windbreakers.
Yeah.
And then in the summer they'll go down here where there's all the water
Fresh
and
grass.
fresh grass. So they teach their foals what to do.
They know the mountain, don't
They know the mountain.
This one's dying to go.
I think it's our cue to go because they're all
is it?
starting to go.
Oh,
so
right, okay.
we'll see you on the side, I think.
Oh, nice one. Hey, thanks both. Good luck as well.
soon.
Thank you.
Take care. Ta-ra. Go on, you head off.
The biggest surprise for me is that the ponies apparently are worth very little. They have no value or market for the farmers, other than the pleasure of seeing them roam freely on the land.
Fantastic. That's the way to do it. On horseback, gathering horses. I suppose if you want to get a horse off a mountain, jump on a horse.
The Brecon Beacons has some of the most impressive cave systems in Europe, and Porth yr Ogof Cave has by far the largest opening in the national park.
Big cave entrance, isn't it?
Oh, it's amazing. Just the walk up to it, that huge letterbox entrance, and the way this geology, this landscape leaps out at you. Very atmospheric.
I'm with Julian Carter from the National Museum of Wales, and we're looking for cave dwellers.
Oh, here we are, Iolos. Do you like moths? Have a look at this up here.
Oh, wow. Herald moth.
Yeah, the herald moth. It's one of a couple of species of moths that kind of likes to use caves for part of their life cycles. So at this time of year, they'll start coming into the cave and finding somewhere quiet, out of the way, sitting it out and sort of going into a torpid state, overwintering.
When it warms up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice moth, sorry. I love that orangey sheen on it and the sort of dead leaf-like shape to it as well.
Yeah, they're just gorgeous, aren't they? And sometimes you'll find them in very large numbers in certain cave entrances, so they can number sort of maybe hundreds.
While moths only use caves during winter,
This alcove here looks promising.
certain species of spiders live here pretty much all the time.
You'll have a look round here. It's one of the egg sacs. Oh, wow.
So they're definitely around here.
That's like almost like a sort of bit of cotton wool. It is, isn't it?
Amazing looking thing.
They have astonishing egg sacs. There's a lot of them around. You can have loads and loads of them, and it's really quite special seeing all these little balls hanging from the ceiling.
Now, is that the spider? See the spider under the rock there?
Ah, yes, that's one.
That is one. That's a cave spider.
That's what's commonly called the cave spider, yeah. They are amongst our biggest spider. This is actually a male.
Oh, wow. So is the female bigger than the male?
Yeah, the female's much bigger.
So this is a little one then?
Yeah, the females can be sort of twice the size.
So there's an egg sac in here. They're obviously breeding. How on earth do these young spiderlings, once they've hatched out, find new caves?
The youngsters, at a certain stage, actually get attracted to light. So they leave the cave, they leave the damp area, they go out into the wide, wide world and disperse themselves and go find somewhere else that's a bit damp and miserable with less adults around to compete with.
Nature's amazing, and I would imagine in the Beacons, so many caves here, lots and lots of cave spiders.
Yeah, and anyway, when you've got this sort of environment, there'll be lots of new spiders. In fact, they can be very, very numerous depending on the cave entrance. So if you don't like spiders, when you go in a cave, don't look around too much.
I'm ending my journey of the Brecon Beacons in the Black Mountain area south of Llandovery. During the autumn, the rivers and upland streams fill up with water, and it's a trigger for fish to migrate. These are sea trout, locally known as seawin, and the rivers of Carmarthenshire are famous for these fish. They're heading upstream in the river Souther, one of the best rivers in the Beacons for seawin. I'm with River Bailiff Peter Thurnall, and we're using a pole camera to get better views of the fish underwater.
Set it down a bit.
She's there now.
Yeah, lower down. Push it lower down.
Like that.
Yeah, I see it. No, she's gone.
She's gone, is she?
Yeah,
I'll hold it there just in case she comes back of her own accord now. But she, we say it's a she, it is a female, is it?
female it is.
And this one looked like quite a big one.
It's a fish about 6-7 pound.
Oh, hello. I won't move, I'll hold it there. See me, we'll come back to the original position. Now these sea trout, how long have they been in these pools now?
Some of these came in April, May of this year.
That long ago?
Yes, they've been in low reaches and pushing their way up the rivers now.
Why are they staying here then? Because they haven't got far to go before they spawn now, have they?
Basically, they've got depth of water here until they get up onto the spawning bed, so they're holding in the depths of water, in the gorges.
So they're just waiting for a little bit more rain to come now?
Any flush of water, any rising water, will easily move.
And they'll spawn about as high up as they can go, will they?
They push up as far up these tributaries as they can get until they reach a barrier or to the spot where they've spawned in the past.
And that's amazing, isn't it? Because they'll spawn exactly the same place as they were born often.
Yes, within meters. Within meters of where they spawn.
That is amazing. So they're all waiting in the deeper pools. They see some friends, they say, I'll hang around here for a while, bit of rain, thump, up they go.
They'll be gone. They'll be gone in hours once you get water on them.
And what makes this particular river so good then?
The water conditions are good for them, the gravel is good for them. In particular, I think it's the gravel.
And the Beacons, of course, as a whole, lots of rivers, lots of streams, lots of clean water. Pretty good for them?
The whole of the Beacons area is good quality water.
These fish are heading for one of the most beautiful landscapes in Britain, the Carmarthen Vans, one of the wildest parts of Wales. Mountains and hills of the Brecon Beacons are what most of us identify as the National Park's main feature. But I hope in my journey through the seasons I've shown that these are just the peaks of a much more extraordinary landscape full of wonderful wildlife and people.
This is my favourite place in the whole of the Brecon Beacons National Park. It's the River Twrch flowing down below me here, the old oak wood, and then on the opposite side
lime kilns of Hentlesvale, the old colliery chimney as well, and that really, for me, represents the whole of the Brecon Beacons National Park. It's human industry and the scars of human industry alongside some of the most stunning scenery we have in the whole of the UK.
But above all, what makes the Beacons so special for me are the quiet places where few people go and I can escape to.
That was the last in the season, but all episodes are available now on BBC iPlayer. Tonight at 8:30 here on BBC One Wales, we kick off our How Wales Works season, and we follow Lucy Owen's big school dilemma as she explores the options